First met, but it's not a lie. I said I was changing my life, and I'm a Christian. And she said, you told me you was God fearing, but all you are is fearing at this point.
Welcome to Mental Break. My name is Devon. We have
Chris,
Julius,
and our boy Stefan over there. All right, guys. How you guys been?
It's too early, but
Stefan, you okay, Stefan?
It's too early for that.
No, man, it's never too
cool,
early.
man.
All right.
Yeah, that's crazy, boss.
Yeah, been good. Had a tough couple weeks. School and stuff, preparing for projects, completing projects. Right now, supposed to be study week. I haven't started studying yet. But I start cramming in a few days. And yeah, that's
here
it.
you are.
And that's the only how to do. You have to cram.
Yeah.
But we're on the plantation, so we have it worse.
This guy, I used to be the cram king in college. Was.
Yeah.
Last night,
literally.
No, but seriously,
going into the exam.
No, but seriously, I can't study for an exam. I have to do it the night before and cram everything.
And that's the same with me. My parents had the same problem. Like, why are you waiting last minute to do everything? But that's the only how I could get it done.
Yeah, it almost feel like when you're under pressure.
It works.
So everything, man.
Yeah.
But the only problem with that is that it's only soaking up for just that test. But after that, everything fly out for that.
No, when you're doing an exam, you're doing like, okay, yeah, I got this. And then when you actually got the exam,
you go blank.
When you actually got the results, you're like, no,
everything gone, complete blank. Yeah, man. So that's it for me. I don't know what's going on for the rest.
What's up with you, man?
Work, relationship, child.
Yeah, regular, every day.
The phases of life. That's it. The phases of life.
Living the man's dream, man.
Phases of life.
What the hell that mean, bro?
I mean finances with everybody, that's the main thing with me right now. Finances. That's
I can feel that, boy. Been working 3 days. Been working 3 days since I start school, boy. Sometimes after you put in the gas money for the week, it's like
that's it.
Yeah. I mean, someday
go ahead.
You want to call Pablo, you want to mute. You understand? You want to mute.
One of our coworkers watched me there and she was like, wait, Julius, how much days you work again? I was like, 3 days. She was like, 3 days? What me do with a man like you? It was somebody that work reservations. The strongest personalities. You probably know that.
I wonder who.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, We have to get by.
Some way,
somehow.
Yeah.
We have to get by. It's just a phase.
Yeah, and it's just for me, it's just like men have it harder than females.
Boy.
No, it's because
okay.
Remember the comment that you just made? Or no, she doesn't want you because you can't support her. It's basically the same thing.
Like this, woman born lucky, brother.
No, I won't agree 100% with that statement. I won't agree.
No, but listen here. On a date, who usually pays?
The man.
Right? Even though the woman works, right?
That is true. But watch, I was dealing with a girl. Well, not even a girl.
Not a girl.
My current girlfriend.
All right.
Anywhere we go, it's at first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, half an hour. So I'm like, why half an hour? I can do no. I will do half an hour. So I'm like, is this the reason because you don't want to? You understand? Because I know every time you go.
What do you mean by that? She ain't gonna give you peace.
You're putting the sexual part apart because you did half. And she was blatantly like, yeah.
She's smart.
I'm gonna do half and you're gonna do half. So
no, but if a relationship like that, it actually works.
And at one point I was like, this is good. This is good. It doesn't matter. It could be 2 sodas. Half and half.
Half.
Mm.
So
Okay.
even-
Yeah, like
even
if you go into the movies,
half.
you pay for the ticket, I buy the food.
So even if
Yeah.
I make a move, it's like it's up to her. You understand? It's not
Right.
like, oh, I did order this for you,
So
and
you
now you
have
be
to-
No,
Yeah.
but you have those females
Yeah.
that say, "Oh, so you're not paying this for me?
No.
You think you're getting any cookie?
no,
No, you have to pay to get the cookie.
Good,
This is modern day,
but it was like for 2 years she did half and half, non-stop.
Granted.
Okay, but on that topic though, well, she do that because
Feeling
she don't
out.
want
Yeah.
I
the
get
they
it.
might
Pressure.
expect something
Yeah.
if you pay.
Exactly.
But as a man, if you take a girl out to dinner, bill come up, damn dog, $400-$500.
Mm.
At the end of the night, are you expecting some or not?
I am.
Not really. Not really. Not really.
I am.
Not really.
Nah,
I'm not a dog,
my guy.
I am not a dog.
maybe
My
it's
guy
just
is
If
a
that's
not
your
part.
intentions, you're interested in the young lady,
Yeah.
right?
Uh.
Look good, body nice, everything you like. And you're like, yeah, boy, make these dinner reservations. I can say, oh, babe, don't worry about it, man. We get some bottle of wines. They check. You can have some dessert if you want.
Because later.
Listen, I'm ready. We're doing the appetizers. We're doing the main course. Because you're like,
Yeah.
yo, I'm going to wine and dine you. You check?
Because later, I'm going to get some
later,
wine and dine.
We can work that.
Julius.
out. You feel me?
Julius, I don't care what none of these guys say. In the back of your mind, that is the thought.
Okay,
That
that
is
is
the thought.
okay. That
Even
is.
if it don't work out, that is the thought. That
It is not. For some reason, you're not thinking about it intentionally.
No,
It's
it won't be
it's
directly
just
intentionally,
as a
but
man,
that is
as a
Okay, so
man.
that
not
one
the
is the
main
only one that
thought.
disagrees.
It's
you're
not the main
hoping. You're
thought.
hoping it
You're
comes
hoping.
to that.
No,
Okay,
but yeah,
yes.
especially if you like this girl from a long time, you're more
Well, exactly.
you're undressing her all the time. Every day you're undressing her with your
Okay,
mind.
everything's
You
perfection
understand?
to you with her.
And now you get the opportunity to take her out.
Mm.
I am getting
Listen to
peace.
these bunch of sinners.
But
Go ahead.
Sure, interject.
But then, what if that's just the first date?
That's the thing. If it's the first date, you can't go on
Well,
the first date expecting
Exactly. First
that.
date, you don't expect
You understand?
much.
Let me
You go
know.
with the flow
Let me ask you a question.
to know the
You can't
person.
do that.
Let me ask you a question. So, y'all have never been on a first date and got anything?
Of course.
Yes, yes.
I know.
And
Of
that
course.
wasn't the
Yes.
intention.
It
I
wasn't
know.
the intention. No.
But you accepted it, right? You didn't say, okay, let's wait until the second date or the third date.
As a man, you're gonna accept it.
Okay, so what is wrong
In
with
most
wanting
cases.
it on the first
No,
date?
no, but then this thing, you're not going in with that intention. You're not leading with that. You understand? You're going out with the person, for get to know them, for enjoy the night. If you get a kiss at the end, you should be fine with that. It's the first date.
And that's the most thing you look out for as a young teen coming
You're
up.
That's-
not looking for it. If you get that,
You know what I
fine,
mean?
but you're not looking for that. That's
But-
not your intention.
I also like
Drop
this
it
topic.
home.
I also think this time real good with our topic.
Mm.
Because now, what's your view of a woman that give it up on the first night? And Devon, what the topic for tonight be?
The topic is, are men afraid of a good woman?
Right. So
Okay,
on that
first-
note, she
okay.
give it out on the first night. How are you looking at that woman?
We can't, no. None of y'all can say anything wrong about the female that gives it up on the first night.
Why not?
Because
Why not?
y'all have been on first dates and y'all got it right.
Not me.
Did y'all think differently of the female?
Yeah.
But here's the
What?
thing. I'm not with that woman. No.
Hold on. What
Well,
differently
it
do you
depends.
think
No,
of the
it
female?
depends. It depends.
Depends on what?
It don't
How
depend.
good
It depends. No, it depends on the kind of person that she is. Because if I go out on the this is the first date, I'm
Mhm.
getting to know you,
Mm-hmm.
and all you want to do just they touch me up and all kind of stuff, and then I can see that you're willing to give it up on the first date.
Okay, but
I'm
it
like-
could be that she was interested for a very long time. And now that she actually got the opportunity, she
Not
kind of hold back
everybody see
herself.
it like that.
No.
Not everybody
No.
see it like that.
If I
Nah.
meet you on
No,
Tinder,
but at
bro.
the end of the day, she
Because-
gave it up and you take it.
No, because
You
you
will
need to
stick to-
realize, right? And people, I know we use this word as it's seen as bad because of the different guys out there.
Mhm.
Predator. Men are technically predators.
Right, we always
Talk
looking
like
for the
yourself,
hunt.
bro.
Chasing.
No, we
We
love
like
the hunt.
chasing.
Yeah, we love the hunt.
Okay?
Okay.
So it's the case where if the prey give it up too easy, we're like, this didn't even taste good no. I mean,
But I'm
even after
pretty
fun and
sure.
look at it.
But
I'm pretty sure you wasn't thinking about
yeah,
that
about Stefan.
during the moment.
It's
Yeah, but after
during the
after-
moments.
After that's what you're gonna be thinking. Be like,
She give it up.
yeah, she
That's
gave
so
it up
easy.
so easy. I'm
Easily.
like,
Who others get? Who others get so easy too?
It lose
Okay, but on
the
the
gist.
but
Yeah,
on
the
the flip
preciousness.
side, right? Because I know me personally, I can't see myself waiting 3, 4, 5 months.
But 3 months is a standard wait.
A standard according to who? But I'm saying I can't see myself
Okay,
waiting.
so just like
so
what?
long. So
Just like how you go on a job, right?
Probation.
It's a new job. You get a probation, 3-6 months. Why is it that you can't get a probation?
Isn't that the wait
for sex?
the amount of
Okay,
wait most
so-
females can
This is a
months?
new relationship.
Well, they have the 90 day. This 90
According to
day.
Steve Harvey in the movie, that is what it says. The 3 months which equals to
But
90
from
days.
your experience going
was it?
around other females, is it like majority of the time span around that time?
You're referring to
Well,
my
it just
perspective
depends on the
3
female
months?
and the
You're
man.
referring to my perspective.
But depends how you connect. Depends how you connect. But if you connect one time like that, like first date and you just first you like it, but then you raise questions in your head like, no man.
No,
No,
'cause I'm telling you now.
I don't think, for me personally, right?
Mm.
I feel like we're bashing the females.
We're not
You know,
bashing.
you're not,
We're
it's
not
not because
bashing,
at the end of the day,
Let
at
me
the end of the
finish.
day, right?
Mhm.
You're paying for all that.
Mhm.
You're expecting her to give it up. But
Right.
when she give it up,
No, but then
you're
what I'm
basically
saying,
saying, oh, why you give it up?
what I'm
No,
saying
it's contradicting.
is we're not expecting that on the first date. That's what
On
I'm
the
telling
first
you.
date.
No
You're
not
not
expecting
expecting that.
no
on the
guy can
first
tell
date.
me they're not
I'm telling
expecting
you.
to
I'm
get it.
telling you. I'm telling you.
not
No,
saying
not on the first date.
Devon not expecting
Okay,
that
I,
on the
Devon,
first date.
Not
When
expecting
some
to have
men
sex
and
on the
Christopher
first date.
too.
$500 and $600,
Right?
and I'm like, I've been sweet talking. Oh my gosh, your smile is so amazing. You best believe.
The topic.
main topic, right?
Mm.
What is your definition of a good woman?
Let's start
Okay,
with
no,
Stefan,
no, no,
'cause
no,
this
let's
brother
hear-
have a lot to say.
No,
about it.
let's hear your opinion. Let's hear what you think a good woman is. Since you have so much to say, let's
Okay.
hear what's
To
a good
me,
woman.
right, it's relative to the person, right? Because my definition of a good woman could be different to your definition of a good one. It's all according to what the man is looking for.
I want to hear your definition.
Okay, so my definition of a good woman
Mhm.
is somebody that is nurturing, somebody that listens, somebody that takes good leadership, is what I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want a woman that I can just lead here, there, and everywhere, and she not have nothing that she can say.
Mm.
That she not have no say. She just easy. I can just tell she could do this and she do that, and tell she could do that. You know, like I could say, go jump off that cliff, and then she just go on
Okay,
down.
so you don't want your woman too submissive.
No, because
Okay.
it don't make no sense for
Okay.
that.
So you basically
You have to have some kind of original thought
Jack,
in
I
your
can
head.
feel that because I used to think I wanted that
Mm.
until like I come across it. And to me, the problem I have with like really, really, really submissive women is like, I don't know if you sound toxic or what, but it's like, yo, where's the challenge?
Mhm.
Everything I tell you, I have an opinion.
Exactly.
I have an opinion. You might not agree with it, but you're just like, okay,
No, but then
all right.
look at this.
You know,
Look
I
at this.
like the pushback, but
The
reasonable,
debate.
rational at the same time. You
Mhm.
feel me? Like,
Yeah.
let's discuss it.
Like
Not
Julius,
just-
no.
Exactly.
not just
I get
blow
where
up
you're
in your
coming from,
feelings.
but listen to
Exactly.
this and
Right.
A, B, C, D.
I don't
Exactly.
think
Yeah.
that this generation of women would lay back and let a guy
Well,
tell her anything.
You might be
That-
surprised.
no,
there
no,
are
no.
a few.
There's still some.
There's
Trust me.
still some.
There's still
There are
some.
a few of them.
There's
They're
still
rare
some.
as hell.
Trust me.
Rare as hell.
They are.
Okay, what's your definition of a good woman?
For me, I'm mostly going towards like a woman who can take care of the family, who can
Mhm.
take care of the home.
Mhm.
She's still independent in some sort, like working and so forth. She has that mindset where, okay, this is how I'm gonna spend the money. She knows to control it and so forth. I'd have to be telling her everything.
Mhm.
She can just act upon her own, her own self and so forth. So I don't have to go and like, okay, babe, I need this to be done. I need this. Nah, she just does it. We have that synchronization.
Best interest of the family.
Yeah,
Exactly,
that's the interest of the
exactly.
family. You understand? That synchronization.
I hear you.
However, right? Listen to this. However, you would not know this on the first date.
But that is true.
You can.
No, you cannot.
You can.
People have been together for 5 years, 10 years, and still don't really know their partner
Because
100%.
when they going on the date, they're not going on the date.
What
and
do you ask
asking
on the first
questions,
date?
bro.
What do you ask on the first
Remember,
date?
it's all
Because I know you were
butterflies.
gonna say that.
That
What
is
do you ask
all
on the first date?
butterflies on the first date.
No, let Christopher give his one before we get too much of a time.
But I'm with everybody's opinion, but I'm more on the traditional vibes with it.
Some more submissive.
Yeah, more submissive to me,
All right.
but still respectful. Same with her opinion matters.
Okay. She have a say so.
Of course, she have to have a say because I cannot be right in everything.
Okay.
Even though a man
True.
is a leader,
Even though females are always right in everything. But
it is what it is. But her opinion matters because she can correct me in ways that I didn't even think about. You understand?
Exactly, because she brings a different perspective.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay.
Now I want. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, I was just gonna say on the flip, because all of us basically say the same thing when it comes to the submissiveness.
Mhm.
So is it a hardcore no when it comes to, the I want to describe it nicely, the louder women,
Nah.
the more assertive
No.
women.
No, I don't think that
It's a hardcore no.
for me. I don't
For
feel
me.
like a female should be heard before they're actually seen. You
Exactly.
understand? Brawling. Oh, you're not even seeing her.
You just hear that kind of stuff before you see
We
it.
don't
Right?
need to get
You're like, nah, who the hell is that?
But you see, the thing about it too now, it's all about where you grow up. The environment.
True.
The background
You
we
understand?
come
So
from,
you
you
can't
understand?
really judge them too harshly on if they're more
True.
outspoken
And more
than
aggressive.
others.
What
So
are
they're
you
basically
trying to
nurtured to
say?
be that way.
For some reason,
What are you
for some reason, I'm leaning towards where
Are you
Julius is
trying
coming
to say
from.
they're too
No.
All right.
No.
That's bad. But no, Devon, back to you. I would like to know what you ask a female on the first date. Since you can actually know somebody
Okay,
100%
so
on the first date.
if it's the case where, right, let's say this is the scenario, you know this person for,
How do you know somebody?
let's say 10 years or 5 years, right, before y'all start dating, because you brought up something where you were saying, like, if you know the person before, right? So let's say you know her for 5 years.
Yeah, but as a
or
friend.
even 2.
As a friend.
As a friend.
Right.
Right? So you know this person you know this person as a friend for 2 years, right? So you already know some of her
Qualities.
some of how she goes about different things.
Distinctive behaviors
Right?
and whatnot.
So you know, if it's the case where you know, okay, you like this person and you want to see if you can make a long-term relationship with this person, you have to go on this date with a plan, right? You have to go with questions that you want to ask her so that you can vet out certain things as well.
You know the saying, knowing someone and living with them
I
is two
understand
different
that.
things.
I understand.
This is the same situation.
Hold on.
Because all right.
I understand that, right?
All right.
But I have a friend that I went to college with, and he got married last year, I think April. And when they were doing their vows and so on, they were telling us like a story of what they did on their first date and so on. And I was so surprised to hear that this guy, she was saying that when they were on their first date, is a case where she felt like she was on a interview. Because this brother man had questions after questions after questions, just going through to make sure that this person, they align, their needs, their
Okay,
wants.
but I don't want to be going in like I'm
No,
going on
I
an interview.
understand. You
Yeah.
don't have to make it sound so robotic, when you stuff. But certain things you're going to want to know on the
But
first.
then-
Yeah, but should I have to interview for the role of being your partner?
Yes,
But Stefan, 98% of the
Not
days,
like
how many people go through that?
you
Most
see,
of the
and
time,
that's the problem.
it's mostly butterfly effect. You're trying
And that's the problem.
Yeah,
Not
but
much
you
people
can
go
ask
through-
all these questions. I
Yeah.
can say, hey,
And that's
I like this, I like that. I love to go out do this. Just
How
so,
many
just
factual?
so,
How
no,
much factual?
just so I can
with it.
sound good in the beginning.
Because
nobody
I want you.
want to talk bad about this.
Yeah,
so,
for the
you
point.
Yeah,
understand?
but then
Time.
that's the problem that we have in.
When you go
we
for a job
in-
interview, don't you lie?
Hold on, man. Hold on. What I'm saying, that's why we have a problem, because we go into this relationship thing fake.
And that's like 98% of
You
everybody.
know what I mean? We go into it too fake.
What you saying, Jeff?
You can never truly know somebody.
Right?
However, you can always trust somebody to be themselves. So when
Yeah, but not on the first date.
No, that's the thing. You're expecting them to be themselves.
Yeah, you need because they're not comfortable yet.
And as Stefan said, until you live with them, then you will know.
Yeah,
the exact.
knowing someone, living with someone, that's when you actually see the true colors,
Exactly.
big man. Because they get to be relaxed, they're more comfortable around you, so they just let loose.
You can say whatever you want to me when we're there, and make me comfortable. But when we're together, it's a totally different person.
Okay, so right on that topic, right? On that point, how long you think you should be talking to someone before it becomes official? There's a standard time. Go ahead, Jeff.
I wouldn't put a time frame on it. However,
Just the
it all
feel.
depends on the feel, the flow, and the vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
You connect with the person.
Right.
That
You
is
know this word vibe? No, from my experience. How a lot of women fucking up themselves now, right? They like to go with the vibe.
Yeah.
You understand?
What vibe?
We talking, we intimate, all these things. But we're just feeling out the vibe. We're not really trying to put a thing on it. We're talking for 3, 4, 5 months.
Okay.
You understand?
On
But
that topic.
we're not putting, we're official. We're just, we're going with the flow.
Yeah.
And then if I start talking to somebody else,
it's a different scenario.
it's a problem.
Yeah, but dating, people need to
When we
understand,
never
dating
anything
and being in a
official.
relationship is different. I can date multiple females at the same time.
So that's what I'm saying. Like realistically, how long are you going to be talking to someone you're interested in before you decide to make it official? You can go with the vibe, but like, is that indefinite?
See, that's
at
why
this point,
I
that
see.
is also
Stefan,
friends with benefit. At this
Stefan, can she date multiple men at the same time as well while she's dating you?
No.
Oh, you
You
see?
hear the jammer.
No,
See?
No.
he just said she can date. It's a vibe, and he can date multiple people.
but that is dating. You're getting
But
to know
so,
someone.
You're giving her the okay. But you don't have to give her the
you
okay.
see,
but
that what it's supposed to be. Getting to know someone, but as a man, of course not. I don't even know. But okay,
Jefferson-
but on that topic, should a man ask a female to be his girlfriend? Should he ask that question, or is just roll
I
into
think
the
you
being
should. But
official?
I was asked that question before because she was like, "We've been going like almost 5 months. How come you never approached me? Like, ask me to be your girl?"
You see,
You know?
just like how a man is supposed to be the one asking to marry,
Mhm.
he's supposed to ask.
I
If
think it's
the,
like
person wants to
maybe
be.
like in history, it's like a manly thing to do.
Yes, but
To
some females,
claim ownership.
yeah, some females like that. But for men, it feels like, okay, we've been living together for this long. We've been talking. We have that intimacy and so forth. What do you mean if we're together? Of course we're together.
I mean, it's just word of mouth, and it needs to be said to make the girl feel like.
Yeah, something in mind, Jeff.
Jefferson.
Yeah, it comes back down to the initial part of the conversation.
Mm.
When you're dating, what are your intentions? So
Okay.
eventually, at some point, that is expected to happen. So if you all are on the same wavelength, it is expected at some point. You get me?
That's what I'm saying. And if you're not on the same point, it will be difficult. Because if, for instance, Jefferson is dating and he's looking for a wife, she's looking for a husband, and you connect, you already know the path you're going on.
There's intentions already.
But now, if you want to
See?
fling,
That's why I was saying you need to go on the dates.
Oh, wow.
Wait.
So we're going to have a new voice. Somebody I know background crew can't help themselves. They have a question to
Alright, go
ask.
ahead, man.
the voice.
Let's go.
Okay, so I'm just going to lend to the previous question with regards to a timeline placed on dating.
Mhm.
Now, just for reference, I think that there is a timeline and there should be a timeline
I think so too.
placed on dating. I think what we have
On dating or making it official?
making it
Making it
official
official.
based on
Yeah.
dating
Okay.
to make
Yeah.
it official.
Official.
Alright.
All right.
I think that life has shown us several different ways of how important time is and spending time. A child, the gestation period of a child is 9 months. It happens for a reason.
Mm.
That is when the mother bonds with the child even before birth.
Mhm.
However, with a relationship, I think at least 3 months, what that does, it allows you to create different scenarios of dating or
Mhm.
going out
Yep.
to see the individual in these positions. I think that we have indoctrinated ourselves of the modern way of dating is you take the girl to the movies
Yeah, it's-
every time you're
It's
going
too
out.
laid back. That's the
And
thing,
so
right?
you go to the movies, there's no connection.
Time to
There's no
talk and these type of
communication.
thing.
There's no comfort being built between
The
both
two of you.
parties.
Exactly.
Because you keep doing or following the same.
Traditions. Whatever.
Right.
And so I feel like if perspective comes into play, with dating, there's several different ways to date.
Mhm.
And understanding what dating is would tell you that there should be a timeline that is placed on dating.
Okay. So a few things
But
he
are
said.
there different like ways to go about dating? Like should it always be a movie or
No.
going
So
to
see,
dinner
that
and
part
so forth?
specifically he mentioned I wanted to talk about because it's like, okay, movies,
Mhm.
fetes,
Heritage.
parties. There's certain type of like events you can take someone you interested in where it's not going to give you an opportunity to get to know them. Oddly enough, like the simplest stuff, probably a walk
Mhm.
or a drive or just
Or you
a dinner
invite her
date.
over and you cook for her. That
I mean, coming by your
Yeah, you
house
can
like
do
that, you know.
You
Well-
getting to know somebody and you invited them to your house.
What's the first thing
I'm
come
not-
to mind when they come to your house? They won't
but
come
we
like-
just said in the beginning our intentions are not
Yeah, but you
to
know how the
have
female
that
think.
sort of
They're not going to
relationship so
come by your
early.
house.
How do you build friendships? How does one
by getting comfortable with the
how do
person.
you become comfortable with dating?
You mean friendships with someone you interested in pursuing in a
By
romantic
lowering the
Normal
walls
friends.
around
normal
you.
friendships.
Yeah, lowering the walls around you. You get
Beautiful. I think that same approach should happen with dating because what you first need to understand
Mhm.
is you're building somewhat of a friendship with this individual to then elevate to a spouse or what it is.
You
So
know-
then with your friend, the things that you would do with your friend, if you're into cars, go on, sit down in the car and chat.
This is why I said when you're looking to date somebody that you want to have a long relationship with, it has to be intentional. You have to go about it with a plan.
Mm.
You understand? And that plan is going to have okay, so first date, we go here and I ask her these questions. We have a good time, whatever. Second date, we go here. Ask her a different bunch of questions. You getting to know them, different places. You get to see the person in a
But
different
It's
way.
all about what she's comfortable with.
Yes, but in different places, you get to see a person
And
in a
you get to
different way.
read her more, and the two you can connect.
Her when you see her at the movie,
Mm.
that's one way.
Mhm.
You see her when she go out and eat, that's another way. You see her when y'all just go for a normal walk on the beach.
And you see her at home. That's
You're getting to know the person, and you're getting the more time you spend with them, is the more
comfortable she'll
comfortable
be.
you
The two
get,
you
the
will
more-
be.
and both of you have to go into this knowing what y'all want, right? Nobody can't go into this and have their walls like this. You
Okay.
understand?
Okay, so what about like females who've never had a boyfriend, who've never been in a relationship,
Hmm.
who parents just keep them in their house, they're sheltered. So now that they're going out to the real world and they want to actually get on that dating train, they want to have the family and so forth. How do these females actually go about what did they know they want before going into a
Well, it's
relationship?
going to be a different approach on that,
See, for that now, I think, because I saw something on YouTube where this guy was saying that we need to get the fathers back into vetting.
Yeah, but
for
not
females.
in
Especially
every
when it's her first boyfriend. I think the father, her brothers, they need
Okay,
to vet
but
who that person
some
is.
families don't have that male
That's true.
that
Yeah,
male
but
features in the
I can
family.
even share a personal story because my last serious relationship,
Mhm.
right? The woman I grew with the most,
Mhm.
right? At the time, she was like 19. I was like 22 or something.
Mhm.
And we started talking and I wanted to bring her out, for us to spend some time. And she was like, my mom wants to meet you. And I'm like, I don't want to meet your mom. Yeah. Yeah, like your mom want to meet me, but what
And
else?
how old were you?
No, I was like 22, 23,
Ah,
something like
damn.
that. But at the time, I never really had that before. Like, why your parents want to meet me? Like, just leave your house. Because the type of women I was dealing with, like, when I'm ready to move, no matter the time of the night, they move.
That's mad.
But this one, just for her to leave the house, you understand? She had to get, like, permission and all these type of things.
Yes,
Oh.
crew member.
For me, to add to that, or to lend to that, I think what it stems from is morals and values coming out of that household.
Mm-hmm.
So a woman who's going into the dating field who has never had any experience or sense of or idea of dating, I think what you would find happening is that whatever morals or values is taught in that household that she's coming from, you will then see it come to life in her actions going into the dating world. Now, I am going to piggyback off of what Devon would have stated with regards to having the father who plays a very pivotal role in a female's development, dating development. And because if she lives in the house with the father, what she does is she pulls and watches every little thing he does as a man with regards to her mother or with regards to his spouse. And so I feel them day and age, nobody, fathers are not so much caught up in what their daughters are doing with regards to dating. However, I think if that goes back to the old time way of dating or the old fashioned style of dating, I think what you would find happening is a lot more marriages and meaningful marriages and meaningful relationships, and a lot less more of may you date today, tomorrow, but we can't stand you, go and go your business. Because then the principles of dating will come into play, as opposed to just a fleeting encounter or
Okay.
Yeah, no, seriously. But okay.
Oh.
So piggybacking off of what he said, right?
Everybody piggybacking tonight.
No, but no, because this is basically a new topic, really.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. This Hashem said back then is different from now. All right. And a family is different, men are different. So what would you consider being a man now in 2025?
Well, you see, I'm with the traditional way.
No, but what do you think a man?
No, let him go.
No.
Where you going with the traditional?
I always believe in meeting the parents first and let the parents get in very comfortable with you and showing you who you really are. But I would go by them. I'm there with the brothers, cutting the yard, helping washing the vehicle. So when they hear Chris is there, like, it's not like Chris is there, okay, my daughter dating Chris. Okay, they want to meet my family too because I wanted to go somewhere.
Oh, you were thinking about
but
meeting.
in terms of what you're saying, the 2025 man.
But you was asking what men should be in 2025.
No, what is the meaning? What is the definition of a man?
You see, it varies with that because I can say it's like a broad statement. Some men don't have no value. Some men just focus on sex, and that's it. They just want to grab for her body.
Chris.
No, but on a way, that's what.
Well, no, Chris. What you're saying is real, but
coming from me.
Go ahead.
At least you know.
You cooking, bro. Go ahead.
I know. Coming from me,
At least you know.
I know we make a lot of jokes, but honestly, when you have a sister and you see your mother's upbringing and you see your father and your mother move a kind of how, you like, hey, this is tradition. This is how you're supposed to be upbringing, the upkeeping. And they bring you in and again, it's how you're raised as well as you were saying, it's how you're raised.
I feel that.
Okay, so just to answer that, right? It comes back to your moral scale. So, certain things, I wouldn't say that society portrays as good, but for you to yourself, do you think it is positive? Or do you think it is pleasing to you? And also, because I was basically met with the same situation of having to meet the parent. So in that case, for me, I mean, although I was a bit timid towards it, but it was still something of what I wanted, just to make sure that everyone is comfortable with the situation. And now, to Stefan's question about being a man in 2025, what is your definition of that? It comes to your perception. Because on the social media, you have an entire different spectrum for what is a man or what a man is expected to do.
Right. Yeah.
So it all comes down to the female's perception of what she requires
or she wants.
Yeah, but for me, like us men, right? It's biological and, men's supposed to be doing this, men's supposed to be doing that. But in 2025, that's a whole different situation because now we have this whole woke stuff. Everybody's waking up now from the Islam
feminine and the female.
So now it's not even biological. Men are not biological anymore. It's I am born a female. Okay, I can say I'm a man. You understand? That's what I
you were
want.
not.
Well,
I thought you were referring to roles.
No,
that's
you were
what-
talking
no,
about
that's
like,
what I was-
what
As
is-
being a man in general, what is the definition
I
of a
didn't
man?
get it. I thought.
So does a female portraying that
I guess it's
I am
what
a
she
man.
wants. What is she wants, and that's whatever she wants. That's what a man perceives.
Because that's what society expected to be in that sense. Because, okay, for example, let's say a female is expecting such and such of you, right?
Mhm.
However, you're not able to meet that certain
Expectation.
Or demand or what.
You don't fit her qualification as a man.
Okay, but
But what I like about the point you made about the social media thing, I think a lot of like young women today, they're learning from social media, and that's not the real place. As far as
bro,
when you meet like women in the real world that grounded, they don't think like, yo, you need to do everything under the sun. And you need to, you need to
Bro.
meet a certain set of physical standards
Yeah.
and charisma. They're just like, oh shit, you seem like a real dude. I see you work hard. I like what you do. And I want to rock with you
We
and
can
grow.
build.
Yeah.
You feel me? Yeah, our anonymous crew member has a question.
All ears.
No.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so for me, right?
Quack, quack. You know,
For me, right? As a man, it depends on your family as well, your upbringing, right? So for me,
you have to hold a while.
wait, let me get off. You get back his question.
Oh,
Go ahead.
that's it.
Go ahead.
Men and 2025, I think there's a lot of hypocrisy happening,
Mhm.
first and foremost, with that statement.
Mhm.
Secondly, I think evolution, what we fail to understand is evolution and man. Humans, when I say man, I'm speaking holistically, humans.
Mhm.
So just to throw those out there.
Okay, we're going
When
to
you speak
Darwinism.
as man, when you speak of men, as in a man,
Mhm.
Male.
a male,
Mm-hmm.
we cannot put hands on what a man, what he represents, what he is supposed to be like in 2025, because evolution, which was contributed by societal changes and all of that good stuff, would have.
Can you do the same with a female as well?
Yes, I think it's a little different.
But
It's a
isn't this
little-
where equality comes in?
No, I mean, equality is a very, very broad statement.
And very broad,
And
but
loosely used.
yeah, because
Loosely used.
equality people
You do
only.
not expect, I'm going to use animals in this because I don't want to offend any sex. Animals, when you see a dog, you don't go looking at the dog and say, oh, what a nice cat.
Mm.
Right.
And so for me, seeing a man or seeing a woman is what I see, that is what
You are.
represents.
Yeah.
Now, I know in this day and age, everybody flip up, switch up, everything right
Yeah.
now.
Everybody
But
wake
at
up.
the same time, coming right back down to evolution and the human race, I think there's standard characteristics or pointers that contributes to a man being a man, and likewise with a woman being a woman. So no matter how 1965 before Christ at 2050,
Okay.
it is going to be.
A man being a man and a
You can
woman.
give
Okay, so
Yo,
here it
at
is.
the
like
end-
one,
look,
two
okay,
examples.
Okay, let me give stuff,
No,
right?
you said characteristics.
Okay, wait, hold
so I
on,
was
hold
just
on.
interested
So here
to
it
know.
is. So if we're looking at the roles of men and roles of women, so the roles of a man is basically the breadwinner.
Provide.
We are the providers and the protectors.
Traditional.
Correct?
Traditional.
Right.
That is what we're taught when we're young. And the roles of a female is to be the caretaker.
I don't think that was traditional. I think that was biblical.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
that came from
Yeah,
a
we'll give you
religious
that.
background.
Okay, so
No, even if you go like
Not
further,
even religion.
no, if you go
Which
further,
religion?
if you
Even
go
if you go
further back,
behind
it
that,
depends on
that's
what
just what a
era.
man is.
No, it depends on what area you're looking at. Because if you go further back,
No,
right,
no, hold
when the
on.
men have to do the hunting
uh-huh.
and so on, the men would be the one.
Who said the men did the hunting?
No, hold
No,
on. Let me
because-
speak.
No, who said
No,
the men
because
did the hunting?
if you're having your family, you're not gonna have your pregnant wife doing the hunting.
No,
That
no,
would
no.
make
Just
But
like
in
how
which
pregnant
tradition?
wife
In
washing-
some- no, in some
which
cases
tradition
they do.
pregnant
In
wife
some
carrying
cases they
food?
do. We
No,
need to
no,
understand-
that could come later
planting
down.
and-
I strictly talking about without all the modernizations and the things
No,
that
no.
make life easy today. Human beings are not like, we're not apex predators. right? So if we have to live in communities, it would be the men doing the hunting.
But which you need to understand there are different religion, different communities, different
We're not
races.
talking
No,
about
but you
religion.
cannot
Pure.
I'm talking about
Pure
No,
genetics.
but you cannot say pure genetics.
We can.
Yeah, of
No.
course you can because
You have some.
because physically,
Mhm.
right? Not bringing down women, but physically, most men just base level stronger
Wait.
than women. Because of this, that will make you the better hunter when we're talking about way back then. So this is what I mean by just
But
based on
hunting
back
doesn't mean
times,
you have to
would
be strong.
No, you would
or
be.
you have to be built.
I'm just talking about
Here's the
being the
thing.
provider
Here's the thing,
without
right?
religious roles
Here's
being
the
the
thing.
thing.
You do know.
Here's the thing,
Go ahead.
right? In a man's genes,
Mm-hmm.
or at least in mine,
Mm-hmm.
I have a base need to protect the woman that I'm with,
Mm-hmm.
to provide for the woman that I'm with.
genes.
You'll get on. To provide for the woman that I'm with. That's just me.
Mhm.
You understand? I can't see myself being in a relationship and not being able to provide
Mm-hmm.
and protect, or go out and work, make money, bring home to look after my family.
Yeah, but in that
That's
sense,
just a man.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah,
I,
yeah.
okay.
Well, Stefan,
That's
watch.
how I see it.
Whatever you said is right, but in Stefan's case, it is a fact. Women go out there and still hunt and bring
Yeah.
back for the man.
No, they can. They
They
can.
can.
No,
They
but
still
we need to
think they
understand.
can't.
We need to understand. We are taught that, hey, okay, men are the hunters, the providers, and so forth. That's what we were taught, right? But in which community, in which tribe, in
I'm
which
going
race?
back
Because we
to-
only taught what
know.
we're taught about what the Europeans are doing and so forth. Because that's those people who come and colonize us and
I'm
tell
not
us
even
this
talking
is what
about
it
the
is.
European.
I'm not
No,
talking about so.
No, but listen
but
to
you
what
can't
I'm
going
saying.
back to what you
Yeah,
asked.
but you
Listen to what
cannot
I'm
throw
saying.
that
Going back
factor.
to what you asked.
No, but listen
You
to what
asked
I'm
what a
saying.
man is.
Yes,
That's
but
what I'm telling you.
yeah, but you and Julia said that men are the one that goes out and do this, and men are the one that goes out to do that, and females are the one that stay home. But
I
is
never
that,
said
that
stay home.
But that is not okay.
I never stay
Caretakers
home.
or whatever.
No, I
but
think you're
that is
looking
not
too
always-
deep into
yeah.
it. I just talking about, Stefan, if we didn't have all these technology and stuff that keep us safe,
Let's
right?
be real.
If you were just living out in the wilderness, you're not going to let your pregnant girlfriend
And
go out and face the
Of
elements.
course
you don't
not.
even have to be
Exactly.
pregnant.
So
Look,
just
of course
by
not.
default,
Look.
you're going to be the one going out and trying to source food to bring back to your pregnant wife. When she has the baby, you're going to be the one going out, making sure you get everything she needs, that she's comfortable and your newborn baby
But
is
a man's
comfortable.
basic instinct is to protect.
That's
Go
what
ahead,
I'm
Jeff.
showing you. Because hold on there, Jeff, 1 second. Just to prove our point, right?
Mhm.
Just the other day, I was looking at this show where they had women and men on 2 different islands.
Oh shit, I've seen that.
Fending for themselves, just to see what would happen. That was the experiment. The men, within a couple of minutes, they already came up with an idea. Go down to the coast. Let's go down, find the coast. It's more clear. You have you can see everything, so it's better when it comes to protection and so on, so that they can set up a camp. The women, they done looking for separate and who go here, who go there, and all kind of nonsense, right? And it was messed up.
Yeah.
But it
was
depends on who they
messed
chose.
No,
up.
I think it was
Because
one.
I have seen on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, females who can actually fend for themselves.
I understand that.
I've seen that, but
But you talking about
Yeah, because
the
that's what they want.
minority.
no, but that's
You're
no,
talking about a
no.
minority.
Television shows are trying to portray something that they want everybody else to do.
They did it not even randomly, I can say.
They can say
What they
whatever they
did.
want,
But
I
on a broad,
understand that, but
sure, on a broad
Majority,
scale, a man
Stefan,
would
come on.
most likely, on a broad scale, a man would more likely to go out there and get things together. On a broad
Okay, so
scale.
I think
Okay.
the disconnect is from what I'm gathering from all this information, right? We trying to say, okay, without all of this stuff, everything would just set to default. The man would provide. The
Fine.
woman would have to be at the home.
Right.
You saying, I guess you're looking at more modern times where
Yeah, because
both genders capable of doing whatever.
because right now
So
I've
back to your
seen
question, what you think the man would be in 2025?
in 2025, a man can be anything really, because I've
so
seen
there's no
there are men now.
there's no defined role.
But it's not right now, because right now I've seen men who are stay-at-home dads, who are
That is
stay-at-home
true.
caretakers, and the female is the one that going out making money.
Yeah, and it
Hell,
works for them.
if a female is making millions of dollars a year, I'm staying home. To hell with that.
And I
I don't
would
give
stay
it.
home
I
too.
don't care what anybody thinks of me. At the end of the day, I am doing.
And it's working
It is
for the
not the
family.
role that we were
It's
taught,
working
but
for the
I am
family.
doing- right?
I hear you.
I'm
I hear
staying
you.
home. I'm sweeping. I'm cooking. I'm taking care of that child.
I'm ironing everything. You know?
Yeah, I'm in my apron. I'm
just
jumping out
one
every
shot.
day.
What you have to say?
Okay, so it comes back to the evolving and all that, right? Now that from what you was speaking about a while ago, so now that roles has not really changed, however, women has become more independent.
Right.
What is your take on the contributions? Not really 50-50. However, okay, if I fall short, you're able to pick me up. What is your take on that?
Let me say this, and it's something Uncle Devon, actually, he always talk about this, right? Because I'm like, okay, I old school, I don't mind be home and, be the provider and do everything. But then Devon was always like, brother, in 2024, 2025, things expensive. It's just better when you have a 2-income household.
But when you have 2-income household, the female still thinks that you're the one supposed to be paying the bills, buying the groceries, paying for everything else, while they save their money.
Not with every
You
female.
see,
Not
that's
with
the
every
thing.
female.
But that's
It comes back to you dating, bro.
Okay,
Who you
okay.
choose.
have to
Okay.
vet
What's
the
the
people
point?
and
What's
them
the
that you're
point?
choosing, bro.
What Stefan just said.
I can be with you for 6 months or a year, and only after 5 years that's when you're showing your true colors.
Okay, and Stefan point. So if you and a woman together, back to what we started talking about. You and a woman together, you're in 2025, things expensive. It would be much better if 2 persons was, spending and contributing. Do you think, would you consider a female a good woman if she's working, but she still wants to save all her money and think you should pay for everything?
No.
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 How are you thinking about the family? How are you thinking about us? Because if you're actually thinking about us,
because traditionally you're supposed to be the one. I'm just being an advocate. Traditionally, you're supposed to be the one paying the bills and
yeah, but traditionally you're supposed to be home taking care of the house, but you're out working, right? So tradition is out of the window right there, right? From the moment you're out working, it's no longer tradition. We're changing the roles now.
Yeah, but I think
so you out working, you should not be coming making your money and saving it towards what?
Yeah,
if
but
it's not saving it
besides
towards
that-
the family, what are you saving it towards?
depends who's making the most. I think you understand.
No, but even if who's
Not
making the most,
necessarily.
because if you're making, let's say $1,000 a week, I'm making $5,000 a week. Fine, I'll pay the bills, I'll do the mortgage. That's fine, but you can buy the groceries.
Yeah, but it depends how it works for the two of you. How it works for the
No,
two
but
of you.
yeah, okay.
No, but I think what
when you're going
Stefan's saying-
into, at the end of the day, I think relationships are like a contract.
Marriage is like a contract.
Relationship too.
It's like it
Because
is.
check this, right? When you're going into this relationship, right? You have to, when I told you about asking questions, you can ask her, what do you think our roles are or would be, right? And by that question, you get to insight to how she feel, what she think about how the relationship will go, right? Whether she thinks that you're going to be paying everything, whether she thinks that y'all going to go 50-50, 60-40, however y'all want to do it.
And then you can make a
However y'all
choice.
see it comfortable. Because before you actually go in, let's say, get married to this person, these questions have to be asked. Finances, that's one of the main questions
That's a
y'all have to
big
go over
factor.
and y'all have to make plans for it.
That's a big factor in life,
You
finances,
understand?
and in the
So that
relationship.
things like this don't come up, because even if it do come up down the road, you can say, babe, when we were dating, I asked you this. We planned, and this is what we came up with.
Yeah, but
Now
that's
you're going back on this.
right. As I said,
You know?
it's just dating. I'm showing you that, hey, yeah, this is what you want to see. This is what you want to see, but this is not how I'm actually going towards. Now we're getting comfortable. I'm actually showing you, okay, this is what I actually want. You understand?
Okay.
But Stefan, as we get comfortable, we show each other what we are about. So now it's up to you now to decide if we can deal with it or not. You understand?
It comes back to that same thing. Like he said, when he and his baby mom, so his current woman started dating, she was going half and half with him and stuff. So then you decide that's what you want, if you want to continue with that or not. So in that case, where she's showing you that, we've been dating for however long, we're in a relationship, yes, but we're not married. So throughout the dating phase, you was contributing to stuff. However, at some point you decide that you no longer want to do that. It is now my decision to see if I will continue with you in that regards or not.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Or not.
Exactly.
All right. Oh, that was a good talk.
Yeah, we cover a lot. One thing I wanted to ask. So we talk about who's a good woman, what you do when you start dating a woman, financial splits, gender roles. What I wanted to ask, right, in the beginning stages, is it okay, if you really want somebody, is it okay to lie to make yourself look better?
It is not, but
I did.
How is that working out for you?
Well, I mean, at least you won.
Okay, I did.
No,
Because
you won.
when we first met, it's not a lie. I said I was changing my life and I'm a Christian. And she said, you told me you was God-fearing, but all you are is fearing at this point. Every day we have the same argument. You said you was God-fearing, now you're just fearing. But I wasn't lying. I was trying to change my life.
At the time.
At that time, when I met you, I was in the process of changing my life.
What transpired?
The always kicked in.
why? Why?
No. I got back comfortable to my always, but she didn't like. You understand? But as you can see, it progresses to what? Because what? She mad at first because, okay, you lied to me. I wanted a God-fearing church, man. But like, you still love me anyways. We pray every morning. We pray every morning together. Yes, I might force you to do things you don't like. You understand what? You can say no. You understand? But the fact is something. I forget about her.
Oh my God.
I met the girl. She asked, how old were you? I was like, I'm 27. I was 21. I said, what? She found out my age. She saw my father and me together. She randomly, that's your son? Y'all look alike. How old is he? And my father gave her my ear like, Daddy, what up? And she like, why you lied to me? Like, I wanted you. You understand? So sometimes you have to lie to get, and if she don't accept it, fine.
Oh, man.
But you have to.
But
Certain
lying
cases you have to
you do know
no,
lying gets you in trouble. You know why?
No.
Because as you said about age, a female can you like this female so good.
Oh,
shit.
She can say
scenario with that.
she can say I'm 25 or 18 and so forth. But that time she's like 16, 15.
Yeah, boy.
But he said
these days.
his lunch.
No, these days.
What?
No, these
Yo,
days.
no, these days, bro.
You can't even.
I don't know
you're
what
looking at them,
in
you're
the food,
like,
but
what the hell? She's actually 13. And when you look like, she look 25. She look old as shit.
yeah,
Yeah,
we work in the hotel. We see it all the time. These guests come in, and when you see their passports, you're like,
That's not true.
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah,
That's
but
you're not
I don't
doing
know
what.
what says something
This
just making
lady
people
came
look
in, right?
a lot older.
And I was like, okay, that's cool. When the passport came over and I checked the age, my guy, me wonder what kind of, but me could just swear sis about 48, 50. Sis was 36.
That's not bad still.
No. Sis was 36. Sis look 48, 50.
Yeah, but
Look
these
a
young
lot
girls,
older.
these young girls right now, they're
So you just can't gauge them sometimes. It's
But
like, but then that's also, is it the same thing where we live? Is it the same thing in the Caribbean?
No.
I don't think so.
No, it's not.
I don't think
It's
so.
not. It's not.
Let's say, Jeff.
Julius, in regards to your question online, right? In early stages, well, in general, you shouldn't lie.
Right.
The question directed at the early stages, right? In my opinion, why should you lie?
That's true.
Just be yourself.
That's
if it
true.
is meant for you, it's going to be for you. If it is not for you, then at the end of the day.
Well, that is
No, but some people like
But everybody
let's say
like,
for
in
instance,
a sense.
let's say for instance, you're as a man, you're talking about, oh, I've been to here, I've traveled here, traveled there, traveled there. Not the female, she doesn't even have a passport. You understand? But she doesn't want to feel like
Yeah.
she's not cool enough for you, understand? So he will ask, so have you ever been to this country? And you like, yeah, when I was young, when my family took me and this, yeah.
I remember.
Yeah. Because you don't want to feel that type of, and also with like subjects, everything is about how many subjects you pass. You as a man, you brag, I have 16 subjects or so forth. Now the female, now she doesn't want to feel, she doesn't want to look like
I just have 5.
yeah, bad. So she's like, yeah, I passed, 9
But you
subjects, knowing she only passed like 2 and so forth. You understand?
Even
That's
the
mad.
thing, I think, like, for some men, like, it's gonna come easier. Like, if you're a guy, you don't have, like, issues, attracting women and stuff. You're like, bro, I'm gonna just be myself because you're just another girl, But for some men, like, when one girl show a little bit of interest in you, bro, that works so much. You want to make sure you're as perfect
Yeah, so you can lie.
possible.
You're
like,
I mean, it's not good to lie,
And
but
with Julius, whatever Julius saying, I can relate because I like
Of course you can. Of course you can.
When I was like-
Hearing, man.
when I was like 13, I used to brag like, yeah, I got sex like nothing, I never get no sex.
the guy's
And
13.
I went in the room and she like, I thought you got sex, and I'm like, I don't even know how to put on the condom.
you
You
know,
know,
that J. Cole song, bro. What is
you get
it?
it? So
But then also it comes back to the environment that you create from the dating phase. So if you create like a safe space for the person, they are able to be comfortable and express that. So it comes back to your question. Okay, you ask me, has she been to such and such place? If she's comfortable enough, she doesn't have to lie. She can just say straight up, I don't have a passport. And if you are feeling that you can encourage her to get a passport, and then you're the one from there.
No, but a female and guy will lie because some men, for some strange reason, I don't know why they do it, but they ask females like how many guys you've been with, how many guys you have sex with. I don't know why. It's an
don't stop
uncomfortable
talking to
topic
you.
to talk about on a date.
don't start matter to you.
It's an uncomfortable topic
Don't
on a
start matter
date,
to you.
right? So you're as a female.
Yo,
you'll
why
be
not
like-
answer the question, Baz?
Does that matter to you?
No, because you're disturbing me. I'm trying to.
finish.
I'm sorry.
Say your piece.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to finish my point. You understand?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
So, the female sometimes, the body count is high. And you're not going to want it. For some reason, guys love females that's supposed to be,
Pure.
virgin and so
Some
forth.
guys like
But
experience.
men out there having, 100
It
bodies and so
it
forth, and it's
varies.
fine. So females will lie. And it's not good because at later down you realize, all these guys talking about this one female, the female that's there. Yeah. I'm like, God.
In kilometers or MPH? I don't know.
So,
Alright, Stefan, to Crystal's question, does it matter to you?
in a sense,
Yes.
I would lie if I say no.
Okay.
But in the back of my mind, it does matter because if you're telling me that you have 100 bodies, I'm like,
Okay, Stefan, should it matter to her if you have 100 bodies?
and as a man, I'm going to be biased.
Should it matter to her? Does it have
As
to
I
do
said,
have?
as a man, I'm going to be biased about this. I'm going to say no.
That's a different thing. We can circle back around to that, right?
Because we're going to be biased about it. You understand? We're going to be biased. I am going to be biased.
It matters to me, yes, but there's context because
Yeah, there's always context.
no, there's context because like realistically, I don't think no man in this room can say if you weren't in a relationship, you wouldn't say I want a virgin. I don't think so.
It's rare to find them now.
No, it's not even a.
I do.
Would
but,
you would you want like with the experience you have now and the things you like and don't like? Would you
Want a virgin?
Right.
No.
80%.
right because you would probably want a woman with
Single
a bit of experience?
Because
No,
Let me play devil's advocate.
go ahead.
Okay, you guys went on like what? 3-4 dates.
Okay.
You've never gotten peace, right? However, you planning and she's okay with it. But then only when you get there, you in the moment, she stops you and like, hey, I'm a virgin. How would you move forward from that?
Been there before.
And how did you move forward from that?
To be honest, right? I told her, I don't think this is the right time.
That's like 90% of the answers.
No.
I
I'm
think
serious.
90%.
No, I'm not saying I've never been intimate with a virgin. But at this stage in my life now, I would not.
Yeah, but most, I won't want to say most
Nah.
men, but I know I would say the same. Like, no, this is not.
No, for me, I don't have a
so-
problem if you're a virgin, because for me, I've been with a virgin for a whole year. Abstained. I've never done anything with her. Never.
Yeah, with
And
Simp.
with her.
With her.
This
With
brother
her.
man.
Yeah. But during that time, I've never done anything
Why
also.
emphasize on her?
outside of her.
Seriously. And that was the moment I knew that I had changed. Back then, I knew I had changed.
Well, Jefferson, why emphasize on her? Like, you mean?
No, because we're specifying about a particular person.
Oh, I thought Stefan be switching roles.
So for,
Oh gosh.
for me, it's
No.
like
Mm.
it's it's not a requirement,
Mhm.
but I don't mind it.
Yeah, I don't mind
if
being
you're
with
a virgin, you're a virgin.
Okay.
If
If
you're
we're
not,
talking about the intimacy, that
Mhm.
sexual intimacy,
Yeah.
Right.
you understand? I know it's just too much for me. It's too much work. You understand?
To what,
Because
the teacher.
because she's not gonna know.
Okay, that's the way I
Well,
was really
I
approaching
would
it. Like
say-
why I wouldn't want a virgin.
Yeah,
Like,
I would say she won't know how to please a man.
you
I
have
don't
to
know.
teach everything you like. You have to teach that
and what's wrong with that?
from scratch.
But I don't think you'll be everything.
it's
I don't
like
think you'll
That
be
takes
everything.
too much time, guy. You know when you
I
jump
have
in the bed,
patience.
you're like, yeah, bam, 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 bam. You don't know questions asking.
It's like you have to
going.
narrate how you want this.
Yeah,
All right, darling. So what I need you to do now?
But I
Right
don't think with
there.
every girl. Even if
Right.
she's a virgin, I don't think with every girl.
no,
Some girls
okay,
know.
unbutton my shirt, unbutton slowly. Yeah,
Some girls know, even if they're a virgin, they know exactly because they have it in their head, whatever they know.
but you think you know. You think you know from what you've heard and what you've seen, but actually doing it now, the actions doing it is going to be different.
Some people, in a sense, you can say, okay, the right timing, the right person, because, like, okay, for instance, she may see you, but she like Jefferson.
Mm.
She might get close to you. You might get to the kissing to whatnot, and then she like, no, I don't want this.
So you're trying to tell
Get to
me.
Jefferson and
No.
everything.
So you're trying to tell me, sir, I'm with a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
She's doing a little bit with me, but she wants another guy, and she just give it up to him and do it perfectly.
And she do it. I can
Bro,
testify.
how would you feel as a man?
I can testify to that. I can testify to that.
If
Or
possible.
you,
Not even with a virgin. If you
Hold
even
on, hold on,
watch.
hold on.
Go ahead.
With any woman,
hold on, Chris.
Man, just rub up
sorry?
my leg, bro.
I can I can testify to that.
Go ahead.
No, Chris.
No, on a real, it depends how she feels. She might be 100% into you, but she into Jefferson, and she can
In that
explore.
aspect. in that
Yeah,
Yeah.
she can
So-
explore herself.
And that's with any
Yeah.
woman, not
so
even
you've
just
been
with
cheated on
virgin.
before,
Exactly.
That's
That's what I was
with
going to say.
anyone.
Not even with
You know?
virgins.
Because
Yeah, all
she
of us
might-
have been cheated on.
She might do missionary and other liquor stuff with you.
Yeah, you know,
But
just
then-
that one just name one position.
No.
That
Why
was
I
boring.
did that? Why I said that? Because I didn't want to. I didn't want to say all the other.
Like she's so
Go ahead.
experienced.
Yeah, exactly. Just the basic shit to you.
Mm.
But then when she come to somebody else now who she really like, premium access.
Open.
You know?
Damn,
Premium. You
premium.
get basic. This brother man, you get premium.
Well, you see, I mean, no.
So it's
After
just
you,
yeah.
no, but
Bro.
no, it's experience. After you,
No,
You
it's
already-
not even
it
about
don't- it doesn't have to be
experience.
after him.
It's not
It
even
doesn't
about
have to be
experience.
after
What
him.
I'm saying, it's not even necessarily just a virgin. It could be any girl.
Any female in general.
It's just how she feel about you.
Full.
You know what I mean?
Explanation.
And what she
happens
want
all
to
the
give.
time, bro.
yeah, that
Julius,
happened to me already
Perfect
too.
case
So
example. One sec. Bro, you meet a girl, date her, 3, 4, 5 months. The most you get is a little kiss on your cheek.
bruh,
And then you hear another partner meet the same girl, and then he like, boy, she easy food. And you're like, huh?
that took me so long just to get a kiss. It took me so.
You're like, easy food?
I know, talking.
Big man, this
And you're
food
like,
for me had to fly around the world from Australia, come all the way around.
Oh, it comes back to you, right? Okay, listen, 4 of you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it to sound disrespectful, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
But then, listen, Stefan dealt with the girl.
Mm-hmm.
He got through. Julius dealt with the girl.
Mm.
Oh, gosh.
Stefan dealt with her. He got through. But when she got to Christopher, she was long before that.
And that happens a lot. Happens a lot. It happens a lot.
That's mad.
And look, we not call it our friend that you know, Julius, from across the pond from where Kevin is from. She never did that stuff with her husband, and when she met me, Chris, go ahead.
So wait, you indulged? You had that intimacy with a married woman?
Yeah. That's another topic.
No, so would you? If you're married, would you like your female to do that?
No, but you see, it all.
No, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do it. She came from all the way over, so the man say across the pond.
It all comes back to how you treating your partner. You understand? It comes back to how you treating your partner.
No. Because listen here, my first real relationship, I've treated this girl to the best. You understand? I've been nice to her. It was like young when you're young and stupid, but I've been so good. And can you believe that she cheated on me?
We can believe.
That's what I was telling you.
We can believe.
This is where it comes down to. She gave you basic. Because that's how she didn't feel. No. She just
don't
didn't
make me feel bad, man.
No, I'm making you feel bad. No, it's not that. It's just the case where she just didn't feel that way about you. She didn't love you the way that you loved her.
Exactly.
You understand?
As he said, basic. And
so,
it comes back to as well, the how she's comfortable. She might be, for instance, people, whenever females come in my vehicle, can I drive? I'm like, sure, drive.
Nigga, you never say that.
Honestly, I said drive.
How you never let me drive it?
I said female.
Oh, females. Oh,
Good.
And she's driving out, and all I say, hey, just watch for the holes, don't drop in. I'm like, how nice you talking when I'm with him. He shouts, he screams, he this. You understand?
So wait, you allow a female to drive and you don't want me to drive it? I don't understand.
No, this man.
Stefan,
but ask him how to drive.
Stefan, you want to drive, Stefan? Do you want to drive?
No.
Hey,
I am basic.
Whatever you want to drive, I'll let you drive.
Hey. He met me drive now.
So you can ask his baby mother. That one is my main man. No homo.
Hey. So that's why he got the premium.
Yeah, okay, back to the topic. Yeah.
It all comes back to somebody's gonna do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
That's just it. That's just it.
Regardless.
And as you said, they did everything and she still did. To her, he did less.
Okay,
I did more.
How does this change your whole perspective of a relationship? Because I've been cheated on right in front of me. My first real relationship. I've been cheated on right in front of me. She lied about it. I literally watched it happen, holding hands, hug up, kiss right in front of me, walking and so forth. Yeah, I know, right? So how would that change your whole perspective?
It changed a lot because I've been both sides of the fence. I've been there laying down.
You've been both sides of the fence?
Not like that, but
you've been both sides of the fence.
He's been cheated on.
You need to be more specific. Yeah. It's 2025. You need to be more specific. You understand?
And she's telling him, "Oh, I'm home. I'm hungry." He bringing food. Please.
Just for her or for the two of you?
She said she and her brother. And all she's saying, please, Chris, don't come outside. Please, I beg you, don't come.
No.
That's crazy.
Nope.
I'm lying down in there naked. She come in there. Yeah, put her in. He come in there. I'm peeping out the window. He come in there. And she tell her, get back to work. Come on, go back. Bring the food. And I'm like sitting like, wow.
That's crazy, bro.
You understand? So now, what that tells you? He's faithful. She want 2, he brings 6.
No, but that changed my perspective because I'm like, okay, even though okay, I've been cheated on now, should I actually be nice to a female, the next female? Should I not? Should I just
no? Well, everybody doesn't fall in the same category. Everybody doesn't fall in the same category.
You're young and stupid. So for me now, I took 2 years. I mean, I've been on and off in a relationship for 2 years in that time. After that relationship, it's one after the other. Friends, all of her friends. And, is having sex with this, having sex with that, cheating, don't really care about anybody else's feelings. You understand? Just because I was hurt. You understand? So I feel like being hurt
because your feelings involved in it
Yeah.
and your experience.
It
That's
makes,
what it
it
is.
makes you want to
Yeah,
actually
because you
hurt
have-
females.
Yeah,
No,
you
you
have
have a
heard the
whole-
one that care about you the most. That's it. You
Yeah.
have heard the one that care about you the most, and she might be the most genuine one to you.
Well, we would never know.